Mhm. Wow.
Well, hopefully we'll be starting up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what's happened to Lori DeJohnny? Haven't seen Lori in ages.
I don't know. I'll ask.
Mm.
It says 12:45 is start time.
Got it.
They might be having a little technical problem. So,
Are you doing well?
yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Yeah, yeah. Just busy, so, running around. So, took my family to Disney the other day. We spent the day in Disney. That was nice. They enjoyed that. So, John, at the meeting, you might want to say something to them, because I know a lot of people have thought about you and prayed for you, and I think they'd like to know you're here online and stuff, and know you're doing okay, so.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. You know, I think there's a problem. Oh, okay. I guess 12:45 they're going to start, right? So. There we go.
I'm Dan Dodd. Hello, Rotarians. I'm Dan Dodd, pitch hitting for President Ike today. Welcome to the February 23rd meeting of the Rotary Club of West Jax. Zoom attendees, the usual, please mute yourself and submit any questions or comments via chat or unmute and let us hear from you. Today's invocation will be given by Doug Bilney, and then past President Mary Pat Wallmeyer will lead us in the pledge.
Thank you. Please pray with me. Father, for this day, this place, for Rotary, and all the other blessings of life you have so lovingly given us, we give you loving and grateful thanks and praise. We pray you will lead us to use these blessings for the benefit of so many more who have so much less, and to have the courage and willingness to respond to those needs. In your name we pray, amen. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'd like to thank Drew Bisbee, our greeter today. Thank you, Drew. So we've got a few pop-ups. Meredith Smith has a pop-up concerning our social on March 9th.
Hello, Community Health Outreach is honored to be hosting next month's social on March 9th, Wednesday night at 6:30. And thank you so much for the astounding allotment of diapers that you donated last month. We got over 900 diapers, nearly 1,000, and that will supply diapers to 20 babies. Thank you.
Good job, Rotarians. President-elect Sean Asmuth has a pop-up.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I've been asked to share with you an announcement for the Riverside Rotary Club. They will be hosting the Riverside Craft Beer Festival. You try saying that 3 times fast, which is their annual fundraiser this coming Sunday, February the 27th, at the Riverside Arts Market, which is on the Riverside Avenue. And it really sounds like a lot of fun. So if you have an interest in beer or just supporting their efforts, I encourage you to attend. Taps open for the VIP ticket holders at noon. General admission ticket holders can attend from 1 to 4. They'll have over 70 brewing companies, 9 food trucks, and 30 sponsors or donors. Music is being provided by the Firewater Tent Revival Music Group. And the proceeds will benefit primarily the Community Peds Care Group, which is a community hospice and palliative care program that provides comfort, care, and support for children with life-threatening conditions. And then some of the other funds will be used to support the programs that they support through their foundation. So that's the Riverside Craft Beer Festival this Sunday, sponsored by the Riverside Rotary Club, and I encourage you to attend. Thank you.
For those of you that haven't been to it, it's a lot of fun. Stay thirsty, my friends. Okay, past President Mary Pat Wallmeyer has a pop-up regarding the Boy Scouts.
Thank you, Dan. I just wanted to remind everybody to put, April 24th on your calendar. That's a Sunday afternoon, and that will be our second annual Rotary Day at Camp Chocody. If you attended last year, it was a blast. They hosted us. We got to shoot BB guns and bow and arrow and canoe, and they're going to cook out for us. I know, I just realized that some of them are, I think half of them got printed with last year's date, but it is April 24th. It is a Sunday, and I believe the time is 2 to 6. And we encourage you to bring your grandkids, bring your kids, invite your neighbors. It'll be a great day.
Just a reminder from Patty, be sure to check the DAC DB calendar and sign up for the events. It's time for this week's Family of Rotary report with Doug Benefield.
Today is the 23rd of February, and I now realize that I'm supposed to be doing birthdays. So we're going to catch up on birthdays for February. Ryan Crabtree, February 4th. Jeffrey Rayner, February 4th. John McCorvey Jr., February 10th. Gigi Carroll, February 13th. Michael Corrigan Sr., February 19th. Admiral Tom Watson, February 19th. Johnny McLeod, February 21st. Lee Davis is also the 21st. Drew Bisbee, the 26th. And Preston Keys, the 27th. And then welcome back to John Barley, who's on the Zoom meeting with us. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Doug. Now, Assistant Sergeant at Arms Carter Rosenblum will introduce our guests and visiting Rotarians.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we have any guests here today. Please raise your hand if you do have a guest so we don't miss anybody. All right, well, I wasn't wrong. Well, I guess if we don't have any guests, does anybody want to hear a joke? All right, filling in for Raul here. So Billy Graham comes in from a flight. It was an international flight. He flies into South Carolina. And when the plane lands, there's a big black limousine there waiting for him. And he walks up to the chauffeur and he goes, you know, I've never ridden in a limousine before and I've never driven a limousine. So do you mind if I drive and you can ride in the back? And the chauffeur says, sure, why not? You can do that. So as they're going down the interstate, he's speeding over the speed limit and a cop pulls him over. And the cop looks at him and he says, sir, can I see your driver's license and registration? And so he hands him the driver's license and registration, and the cop kind of looks at it and says, can you wait 1 second? I need to go back to my car. So he goes back to the car. He calls the police chief, and the police chief says, what's going on? He goes, I got a pretty important person. It's probably the most important person in the state of South Carolina. And the police chief says, oh yeah? Well, who is it, the governor? He goes, no, it's not the governor. He goes, well, is it the president of the United States? Who's more important than the governor in South Carolina? And he goes, no, sir. And he goes, well, I'm confused. I don't know who could possibly be more popular than the president of the United States. He goes, well, sir, Billy Graham's a chauffeur, so I'm pretty sure it's Jesus in the back. Thank you.
Very nice. Now I'd like to call up past district governor and president-elect Sean Asma to introduce our speaker and program today.
Kind of forgot that was in my title. Thank you. Well, good afternoon again. It's my pleasure to introduce our speaker today, and I want to thank Ken Baker for getting our speaker for us today. I also want to add, and this applies to our four-way test. Several times throughout the year, comments have been made about the programs this year, and credit has been given to me for getting all the programs, and that is just simply not the truth. This is a team effort. That different people have suggested the programs or gone and gotten them or made the arrangements or whatever. So this has been a team effort. It's not just all me. So many, many thanks to everyone who has either suggested a program, contacted someone to come speak to us or introduce them or whatever. So many thanks to everybody who has participated. So with that little bit of housekeeping, it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker today. Past District Governor Jeanette Loftus has served in many positions here in our district in Rotary. She was club president of the Rotary Club of Flagler County. She has served in many other positions, including serving as district governor in 2018, 2019. She's currently serving as a district foundation chair for our district. And let me tell you, that is a really, really big job. It is a thankless, tough job. And speaking on behalf of all the members of our district, we really appreciate the fact that you're doing it. She is also serving as a Rotary Leadership Institute facilitator, a trainer for the Florida Pets session that will be held next week. She's also a trainer for governor-elects and governor nominees within the zone, which is also a big responsibility. Her husband, Tracy, is also very involved in Rotary, and he is serving as a registrar for pets, which is a huge job. They're also major donors, and they're members of the Polio Plus Society, the Paul Harris Society, and the Bequest Society. Now, besides that, what she would probably like for me to share with you is that she has a wonderful family. They're all involved with Rotary. They grew up involved with Rotary, and I think she feels that's pretty important. And she has 2 granddaughters, and she was just sharing with us that she had a grandson born yesterday. So she's pretty excited about that. So there are a lot of other things I could share with you about her, but we're just thrilled to have her with us today. So with that, if you would help me welcome Past District Governor Jeanette Loftus.
Thank you, Sean. Good job, Joe. So it is an absolute pleasure to be here with you all today, and looking at your home of past district governors and around the room and all of you who have served as club presidents and who have grown up through the RLI, Rotary Leadership Institute. There are a few strangers in this room. And so thank you all for your service. And many of you, some of what I'm going to cover today about the Rotary Foundation may be a review for some, but hopefully some light bulbs will go off. And Sean had mentioned that it's a thankless job to be a foundation chair, but it's really not, because I have an opportunity to come out and meet with all of you. I have an opportunity to look at the grants and all the good that we are doing in our communities because of our donations to the foundation. So my payment is here in my heart. So thank you all. Somebody's birthday, we were talking about birthdays before, but today, did you know today is Rotary's birthday? 117 years ago today, Rotary was founded in 1905. So congratulations to Rotary. So today we're celebrating Rotary's birthday, but I want to remind you all that you have an anniversary coming up in June. You all will be 55 years old. So June is your 55th year anniversary. Congratulations. But even better, now this is a number that you may all not know. Over the past almost 55 years, your contributions of your club members to the Rotary Foundation have totaled over $932,000. Give yourselves a round of applause. You all are only $68,000 shy of $1 million. And so my challenge is to hit that $1 million mark. So if anybody wants to write a check, I will be available after the meeting to take that. So while we, do we have PowerPoint up, Joe? Okay. So while the original Rotary Club was formed 117 years ago, and those of you who have had an RLI may realize this, but Paul Harris is our founder, and he founded Rotary because he found himself as the new attorney in town and soon realized that in order to grow his business, he needed to grow his network of friends. So he gathered together 3 of his newly found friends to form what today is an organization of 1.4 million Rotarians and Rotaractors in over 200 countries around the globe. Rotary's vision statement, together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. We unite in friendship and work together on projects in our community and around the world, projects that will last long after you and I are gone. And in so doing, we ourselves are changed. We become better citizens of our world and make the community around us a better place. And you heard President-elect Sean say that my family has been involved in Rotary all of these years. And I can tell you that, and I do wear my heart on my sleeve. So on my way here today, I received notice that my son, who just is the father of the baby that was born yesterday, received his official orders. He will be going to New Mexico in 2 weeks to join the Air Force as a commissioned officer. He'll be flying drones. He'll be a drone pilot. So, but he grew up his entire life, because I've been in Rotary 27 years or 24 years, and he's 23 years old. So his entire life, he grew up with the family of Rotary. So those are the caliber of people that we bring up when we include our family and our friends and our youth, and we mentor those. We are making a difference for future generations. So while Rotary International is our principal organization to which we belong, the Rotary Foundation is our charitable giving arm. That is what allows us to do good in our communities and around the world. Our donations and the continued heartfelt commitment of all of you who have contributed to the foundation provide funding for polio and projects locally and globally. Through collaboration, good work, and generous donations, Rotary gives ordinary people the ability to do extraordinary things. What has become a worldwide effort to eradicate polio started as the vision of one man who visited the Philippines back in the 1970s and saw children crippled and crawling on the streets. He did something about it, and that's what Rotarians do. So it wasn't until 1988 that we adopted End Polio Now as our primary initiative. Today, polio remains endemic in only 2 countries around the globe, Pakistan and Afghanistan. We have a commitment from the Taliban that they will continue the polio eradication efforts there. And we have a commitment from the head of the Pakistani army that Pakistan will be polio-free within the next year. They will lay down their arms and allow Rotary members and global healthcare workers an opportunity to immunize the children in Pakistan. In 2021, we saw 5 cases of polio around the world, 4 in Afghanistan, 1 in Pakistan. And just recently, we had a case in Malawi of the wild polio virus that they actually traced back genetically to Pakistan. So they have beefed up the immunization efforts and the surveillance efforts there. So they are trying to mitigate that outbreak. When Rotarians around the globe took on this challenge, 1,000 children per day were being crippled by this most preventable disease. Today, over 3 billion children have been vaccinated, and 19 million people are walking the earth because of your efforts, because of your contributions to end polio. Not only that, we have used the inroads that we've made around the world in countries to help with other diseases like Ebola, and most recently, they've tapped into the resources for COVID-19 to fight that around the world. So we have made those inroads as Rotarians. So give yourselves a round of applause. Great job. You are saving lives around the world. That is the power of the Rotary Foundation. But the Rotary Foundation is so much more than just polio. It's also these 7 areas of focus that you see here. The mission of the Rotary Foundation is to enable Rotarians to advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through the improvement of health, the support of education, and the alleviation of poverty. Foundation programs provide food to the hungry, potable water to the thirsty, healthcare to those in need, immunizations to prevent a multitude of diseases, and shelter to protect families, and educational opportunities for young and old. Differentiating Rotary from many other organizations is the fact that these activities are designed, funded, implemented, and managed by Rotarians and Rotary clubs like you all around the globe. Let's take a look at how we can accomplish this. The Rotary offers global grants and scholars to study abroad. We have an applicant that's applying now. His name is Jesse Marks. If you attended the Vibrant Club seminar in October, you may have had the opportunity to meet with him. We are currently submitting that application to the Rotary Foundation. And so if that's something that is of interest to your club, he is studying peace and conflict resolution in Oxford. And so we are looking for some additional funding for that. So if that's a passion of yours, if you want to learn more, I can put you in touch with John Caulfield, who is our Global Grants Chair. We also offer vocational training teams. That can be teams of Rotarians or non-Rotarians that take a certain focus, whether it be water and hygiene or engineering, and we bring that skill abroad and we teach folks there how to do the things that we do here, or we bring that team of experts here and we show them how it's done and how they can implement these procedures in their own home country. Rotary Centers for Peace and Conflict Resolution is another one of our areas of focus, is that peace and conflict resolution. And we have 7 centers for peace around the world that are funded, offering master's and certificate programs. The next opportunities are humanitarian. Program of scale grants is something that the Rotary Foundation just started last year by offering 1 award per year. This is a $2 million award. The first award was offered for a malaria-free Zambia. It was started by a Rotary Club in Washington State that had a lot of partners involved in that. The total grant cost was over $6 million. But their goal is to make malaria absolved in Zambia. And of course, there's the global grants. A global grant is an international grant. You need boots on the ground. You need a Rotary Club that's identified internationally that can help you facilitate that. And as I had mentioned before, John Caulfield is our Global Grants Chair. That $30,000 is the minimum, but don't let that scare you, because we have district designated funds that can help match that money, so it can make it very affordable. So if somebody in your club or your community identifies such a project, please seek out my assistance or that of John Caulfield. We'd be glad to help you out. And then, of course, there's district global grant or district grants. Next slide, Joe. Okay, this may look familiar to you all. Let's talk about this grant that you received last year for the Field of Dreams at the baseball grounds. This project, in partnership with the city of Jacksonville, demolished the existing ball field and added additional drainage and an asphalt base over the field, which then had a rubber surface poured over it to accommodate wheelchairs and other assistance devices, while helping to prevent injuries to children and adults with physical and mental disabilities. This project was made possible with a $15,000 district grant against a total project cost of over $30,000. And this year, you all are working on a project at the camp to provide first aid and bleed control equipment, spine immobilizers, personal flotation devices, lifeguard stands, and AEDs for over 3,000 children and families each year. That project cost is $9,600. You all have received a district grant this year of approximately $4,800. Now that's leveraging your money. That's money that you don't have to put out to do good in your communities that you can use for other projects. So where does that money come from for the district grants? It comes from your contributions, your cash contributions, giving through your club. Some of you I know contribute on Rotary Direct, directly online, whether that's a recurring gift or you go on periodically to make that contribution. Is there anybody in the room over the age of 72 that's taking a mandatory, you don't have to raise your hand, taking a mandatory distribution from your IRAs? That's an excellent way to, I know we have some financial planners in the room, but you can actually have your monies transferred from the custodian of your IRA directly to the Rotary Foundation, never touching that money and never having to pay taxes on that money. Great cost savings. Am I right, Ed? Okay. Any questions on that? See Ed, he's the resident expert. Or any other financial planners. He just happens to be the one I know in front of me. Does anyone use Amazon these days? Anybody shopping on Amazon, right? I think we all are. Amazon Smiles. Go online and make the Rotary Foundation your charity of choice, and they will donate a portion of the proceeds to the Rotary Foundation. Easy way to give, right? And of course, there are ways to give as far as marketable securities, real estate, and charitable trust annuities. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you all that Rotary Foundation has received consecutively for the past 5 years a 4-star Charity Navigator rating. That is the highest rating given to any charity. So you can ensure that your money is being put to good use where it's needed. There's also the opportunity to give through your estate planning, your life insurance policies. I know we have some bequest members and some benefactors here in our club, so thank you for that. It's an easy way to give. When Tracy and I were first, raising our kids, we were putting them through high school and then college. We didn't always have the resources, but it was certainly easy to make the Rotary Foundation a beneficiary in our life insurance policy. $25,000, my kids are not going to miss it. And if they do, I don't care because I'm not going to be here to listen to them complain, right? So it's a great way to give to the Rotary Foundation, and it doesn't hurt at all when you guys go to that Rotary Club in the Sky. So your next slide here, we're going to talk about some Paul Harris Fellows. Your club of 100 has 84 Paul Harris Fellows in it. So give yourselves a round of applause. We also offer the Paul Harris Society. Paul Harris Society, I know you have, I think, 2 in this club. Paul Harris Society is a pledge, a commitment to give $1,000 per year to the Rotary Foundation. So thank you for those. Polio Plus Society is something new that our district is offering, and that's a $100 pledge that you will contribute to end polio now, from now until the time that polio is eradicated, which we are hoping to be in the year 2026. It's a pledge of $100. If you're interested in that, the form is online on the Rotary Foundation website. I'm sorry, the district's Rotary Foundation website. And I can also send it to President-elect Sean so she can get that off to you. Major donors, you guys are a giving bunch, and I know we have some major donors in the room, so I would ask you to please stand and be recognized. Our major donor and gifts chair in the district, Ken Baker. Ken, thank you. Michael Corrigan, Senior, thank you. We also have a couple folks on Zoom. Robert Hyde, are you still on Zoom with us? And Marshall Butler on Zoom. I saw him on Zoom. So thank you all for your enormous generosity. Arch Plump Society is a $250,000 cash contribution minimum to the Rotary Foundation, and there's different ways in which to give that. And you can also give it as a charitable gift annuity, where you can actually get some money back earning on that. I think it's about a 4% rate of return on that. So there's a variety of ways to give. So I'd like to thank you all for your continued generosity to the Rotary Foundation. And now I'd like to tell you that in 2017, I had the awesome opportunity to attend a National Immunization Day in a small village outside of New Delhi, India. And on that National Immunization Day, we took to the streets And we were set up with a booth with fellow Rotarians, and people, families brought their children, whether they were on scooters, they walked, they were in cars, and we would give those 2 precious drops of polio to any child under the age of 5. Because they say over the age of 5, they're very unlikely they could be a carrier of polio, but they're very unlikely to spread the disease. So we immunize children under the age of 5. And when we do that, we paint their pinky purple, their pinky nail purple, so we can determine who we've immunized and who we haven't, because the consecutive days after that National Immunization Day are called mop-up days. And on those days, we go into the villages, and this is some pictures of the villages that you'll see here, and we go door to door with healthcare workers. One worker is holding a clipboard, and the other worker has a cooler over her shoulder, because we have to keep those polio immunizations cold at a certain temperature. And they know, because they work in this village, they know where every child lives. And so they mark each of the doors. And so as we're going around this village, knocking on doors all day, there's this little boy and his friend following me. I was like a mama duck and he was my baby, just following me throughout the whole day. He wore a snow white sweatshirt. And it wasn't until the end of the day that I bent down and noticed his pinky had not been painted purple. And I tell you this because how often do we pass someone in the streets of our own community that could use the help of Rotary, that could benefit from your generosity? Oftentimes, I am asked why I do so much and give so much of my time, treasure, and talent to the Rotary Foundation. And this is why. That is Emma Grace. She is my oldest granddaughter. She's 7 years old. And this is a picture of her doing a Rotary service project, planting trees several years ago, because I think she was 3 or 4 at the time. Emma is why I do this. So every child across the globe is given the same opportunities that Emma has. An opportunity for an education and to grow up to be whatever it is that she wants to be. Access to clean drinking water, and will never go to bed worrying about the next rainfall or having to fetch a pail of water. A world where polio is never a threat and all of the world's children are able to run, jump, and play. Where medical care is available, whether it's to repair a heart or mend a knee. Self-supporting communities where job opportunities are available, so parents can provide their families with a roof over their head and food on the table. I am in Rotary and I contribute to the Rotary Foundation. So someday, hopefully in Emma's lifetime, or now Theo's, we will all grow up in a world of peace. Thank you. And now I can open it. Is it time for questions, or are we?
Any questions?
Speechless.
What are some of the initiatives that Rotary is trying to look to in the future?
I'm sorry, in the future? Right now, we are concentrating on the eradication of polio. We have not identified anything after that. Rotary is a grassroots organization. Just like the eradication of polio started with the idea of one person, the malaria-free Zambia started with the idea of one person. So we, Rotary and the Rotary Foundation, will not tell the clubs and our members what our initiatives are. It's up to our members to find those initiatives and bring them to the foundation. Does that answer your question? Okay, thank you.
So about how much longer do we think it's going to take to finish off polio?
They think it'll be eradicated by 2026 is the projection. So it's very close. They are switching over from the wild polio vaccine to a vaccine-derived immunization. So that will help speed that up a little bit. Okay, anything else? All right. Well, thank you all very much. I am available after the meeting if you have any further questions for me.
Thank you, Jeanette. We have a little surprise for you, a gift for speaker today. Come
Coming
on
back up.
It's a newborn's cap, Rotarian cap for your grandson. Give it up for the new grandmother.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, some reminders. Next week, our speaker will be Randy Reeves. He is president of the Fraternal Order of Police. Don't forget to RSVP for future in-person meetings and events. Chris Berge will lead us in the four-way test. Thought for the day: do the right thing even when no one is looking. It's called integrity.